Welcome to Mereak Firmaxe Rebuilds Moria. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe below. Episode 22, the 21st Hall Build Overview. Welcome to another Adventures of Mereak Firmaxe Rebuilds Moria. This area is the 21st Hall outside the Chamber of Muzzerbull. It's also known as the Chamber Hall. It is one of the largest build areas, if not the largest build area in the game. It is double height and double wide of a single room, so it is extremely large. I would say even slightly bigger than or on par with Durin's Great Forge, but with a larger build area. So that's the Chamber of Muzzerbull right in front of me. And this is my latest build in this area. Now there are buildings in this area that are not connected by a common floor. Normally I would go into a room and I'd lay out one singular floor, but recently I had some conversations with the devs about how the building system works and about some of the issues that we discovered with in very large builds, walls being unstable and crumbling, even though they shouldn't. And during that conversation, it was discussed that the math behind the stability treated all the objects basically that were connected together as one giant object, all playing off of one another for support. And so when they did the math to determine if a piece had support, it would look at the structures that were connected. And then I started thinking, well, the floor connects everything. And that's probably why they changed the outside wall structure of the room. It used to be anywhere on the outside wall structure you could embed something and get structural integrity from it. It would literally help you build and support your structure. That does not always happen now. The outside of the room, the facade on the outside of the room, in this case what I'm looking at, the white marble looking material, doesn't uniformly provide support anymore. Now the floor does, but if you had one giant floor that connected everything, it would be one collection of objects instead of individual buildings. And so I did an experiment with this build where I decided not to put down a common floor, and lo and behold, all the minor structural integrity problems and the performance problems disappeared. Now, to me, that means that I'm really hoping that they take care of those piles of junk on the floor and, make it so we can repair and restore the floor, or literally that would be what the room is, and then everything else would be a layer on top that we could remove. So the grass, those immovable piles, those pieces of rubble, they wouldn't be part of the room like they are today. They would be removable. That would be optimal. Now the buildings here are all my own design. Feel free to copy. I encourage it. I think that's how we learn. You can watch all my other videos on how to build buildings, but these are some of the unique buildings that I didn't find during my adventures, but I took inspiration from the buildings that were already here or in previous versions of the game. Alright, let's go around clockwise, starting at the Chamber of Muzzerbull, which I just cleared out. There's nothing built in there. I am going to go here. This is what I call the Stone Singer's Hall. Now I know that Rings of Power is a television show. Not everyone liked it, or not everyone liked the concept of stone singers. I, however, really did. I liked the concept that dwarves, just like with Gimli and the songs in the books, would get together and sing. And the stone singers singing to the stone to find its secrets made sense to me. So I actually enjoyed that part, but that's a personal preference. This can also be a musical instrument singing hall or some area of entertainment. Now this took inspiration from the buildings in the Desolation. they have odd shapes, multiple stories, and no way to get up to those multiple stories, which personally annoys me. And so I was like, well, what would you do if you had the ability to recreate this, but you fix some of those problems? And so in one of my other videos, I showed you a bunch of those buildings, and let me show you what I did. Now, most of those buildings have a central area with a wooden floor above. And so that central area here in the hall, the Stone Singers Hall, this is the area where you get your food, your drink, your popcorn, your snack, or whatever. Now, this area here under the stairs is storage, and this area here would be for storage, which, devs, if you're watching, I'd really like some crates and barrels and bags that didn't do anything but were just for decoration. Now, instead of having a room on this side alone, I put in a set of stairs. And this opening isn't in any of the Desolation buildings that I've seen. Come up here, large open echo chamber with a balcony. So the singers, the musical instrument people, all of them would be here in this part, singing away, playing their instruments while people listened. You could stand down here as well, but if you want to come up to the balcony, the echo chamber, you could hear it very well from up here. I put in a lot of detailed work with the wood just to make it feel rich and homey, warm and inviting. Of course, I did put a balcony in this building. In fact, the sound would carry forward outside. No problem. Alright. Before we get to the two center buildings and the brewery, I'm going to continue to go around clockwise to the Great Forge. Now this is I've built here before, and I built Mereak's Great Forge here. This would be the Lord of Moria's Great Forge, or in this case Mereak Firmaxe's Great Forge. This is a standard 3x4 pavilion, very similar to the crafting ones we've seen in other parts of the game, except there was a solid back wall, and it had two lamps in it and a central area. I just made a pagoda. So this is a large pagoda with an opening in the ceiling. That opening is boxed and has some filigree in it, allows in some light. It's open and airy but highly decorated. We have 4 Ufan furnaces, our forges, and all the crafting stations except for cloth making. Now in this part of the room there is a entryway with a guardhouse, but I was getting orc attacks there for a while. So there you go. Mereak's Great Forge, Lord of Moria's Great Forge. Alright, this building, let's see if I can back up, is the treasury. Obviously highly decorated in gold. In fact, you can see that I got the gold to poke through the filigree at the very top, that carving border at the top. I think that looks nice. Let's go inside. Now this is an odd shaped room. It's 3x3. So you come right in, lots of light, little alcove filled with gold with Durin, and boom, a big treasure pile and treasure chest. And then back here, treasure chests filled with gems and coins and stuff. Alright, go up the stairs to the second floor. This is where I store the mithril and the gold, and piles and piles of treasure. The walls and the ceiling are done with gold inlay, including this alcove here, that's gold. And of course the light shines the gold off on various parts of the room. Lots of gold in the walls and inlay. Alright, now we'll come up here to a massive room of gold. I wish we had the ability to swim in gold. I put the gold inlay into the pillars in the room. Gold ceiling. Gold walls. And piles of gold. And a mostly used pile of gold bars, because that's what I've been building with. Gotta jump around on the gold a little bit. Yay! Alrighty. Next we have the tap house. This is a 4x4 building, which is standard floor plate. It's got a lot of custom woodwork, and instead of using, like I used to, a 7 of the smallest brew tanks, we're using the kegs, which dwarves would go upstairs and refill. Now, I put signs above each of the tanks, and that will correspond to what's in the 2 barrels below them. There are 12 barrels, 2 for each, and then I do not use the orcish medicine. So dwarf would come in here at night, give their coins, get their ticket, pull a draft of beer. This area here is where the dwarves would work. Grab your ale, and you come upstairs to the hall. And I particularly am proud of the curved arch lattices and the cross beams and the pillars, and did this really fancy inlay, and then you see the parts that poke out, put lights on it. And it is well lit, very bright up here, but this is just beautiful. You can almost hear the dwarves chatting and humming and singing and drinking, having a good time. That's the Chamber of Mazerbull again. We're halfway done. Let's go over here. This room, this building, well, there's the tap room. That's a good picture of the tap room. This building is larger than normal. It's a 5x4 building with an overhang, and it is a hotel. A place for a dwarf to rent a room, a small room. So you come in, and there will be some dwarves here to check you into the hotel, give you your key. You take the stairs to the left or the right. You can come up here, and you can get to the cafe where you can buy a snack or get breakfast and food and sit down and eat, chat. And then upstairs are 7 rooms for dwarves and a bathroom. Someone asked me about a bathroom not too long ago. Did you ever put one in? I had put in a tiny room, but not we didn't have anything to put in it. Might be a little uncomfortable, but you could bathe in the big vase there, and there's your chamber pot, which I'm sure Dwarf would come and change out. A couple of stools, but you could wash up, clean up there. A standard room, there are 5 of these. And I'll show you this one. Each of the standard rooms has a very nicely appointed bed, a chest, and a stool. And if you want to pay a few silver more, there's 2 larger rooms, 2 with windows. This one's got an armor stand as well, and a chair. Probably could put a desk or something in, and the same over here. This one's got a lot of windows though. It's a pretty nice room. Large vaulted ceilings, and of course a small area where the few dwarves can sit and read or chat or whatever. So this is my rendition of a hotel. Something that would be needed when dwarves started coming back to Moria. Another thing dwarves are going to need is a place to buy and sell goods. Kind of like a mall or department store. So this department store, I wanted to give it the look and feel of a 1950s Macy's in New York City. Now, I know what that looked like, and this isn't it. But I wanted that grand, stone, solid institution feeling that, you know, sold high quality goods and services. That's what I was going for with this design. So you walk into a large area, and then there are 3 shops. On the first floor is the clothier shop, and we have a cloth making facilities and rolls of cloth dyeing, the ability, a nice set of work tables to work, place to repair, mannequins to put your clothes on. Back here I do storage again. If we had boxes, crates, barrels, I'd put some there for decoration. Now on the back you have your way up. Your second floor is a small smithy. Buy and sell new and used weapons and various pieces of armor that don't require a great forge. So, and tools, you buy tools in here. And then up here is your showroom. Buying and selling, trading armor from all over. Shields hanging on the walls. Clothing, armor, tools, weapons. And then there's an upper area balcony. And a nice area up there that's open. So you can come in here, buy, sell, trade. Big department store type of place. Have everything that you're looking for. Alright, so my rendition on a highly appointed department store. Last but not least, this is a standard 4x4 building that is a restaurant. Now, this bottom floor is very similar to other buildings that I've seen. It is different, but it's similar. You come, place your order for your food from the hearth, stove, or grill, pick it up, and then you can come upstairs to the banquet hall. So this room, there's a banquet hall, lots of seating, large tables. There's a nice balcony. See and probably hear the tap room. See the brewery. Smell the yeast. Hear the cheering. Listen to the stone singers. Anyway, you come, you got your food, you eat, and then the warm smell of bread is coming from upstairs for the baked goods. Up here you have a bakery. You have your mills, 6 ovens, some work area. And this whole space would be filled with smoke and from the fires and the warm smell of baked goods and breads. Making me hungry. So, my restaurant. Now, the 2 center buildings are exactly the same. They each contain 4 2-story townhouses for a total of 8 dwarves, because I can host on, I play on a PC, so I can host up to 8. Haven't done that yet. We've had 6 pretty regular, but in another world. So start at the bottom. Down here I have my basic supplies and my repair and my stone. And on each side, storage. So this area is refined metals, except for the gold in the mithril, and crates of materials. Sorted and organized, of course. I like how that hotel turned out. Here you have raw materials and mushrooms, mushroom growing, since there's no light in here. But stacks and stacks of raw materials. Now, each one of the floors has 2. So 2 buildings, 2 floors, 2 central floors each. First and second floor. Each contain a townhouse, which are labeled by a colored light that doesn't repeat on the floor that they're on. So there's 6 lights and we have 8 rooms, so 2 of them do repeat, they're just not on the same floor. So if you're a dwarf, you know to go, for my example, mine's the blue light there, I go to the blue light, that's my apartment. Or townhouse. Anyway, you'll see in a minute. Tried to decorate the outside, both of these are exactly the same. Like I said, it took me over 16 hours. I've logged in and out of this world dozens of times, and over the last week, and it is extremely stable. And I was working hard to try to break it. And this was a great experiment, not using a unified floor everywhere. Don't say I like the look of those big piles of dirt. And I certainly understand my kingdom for a broom sentiment from some folks. Anyway, I can show you what they look like. No, I don't care about that. They're not actually here. Okay, so this is mine. There's nothing in it yet. On this side, there is green paneling. On the other side, there's the brown. Each one of these rooms is 2 stories, and they have a nice wooden staircase. Very nice wood ceilings. Same over here. We'll just cut through here. Now, there are staircases on both sides so that you can go up in a circle. And each one of the townhouses has 2 doors. Above the 4 townhouses is a farm. Each side has 2 sun lamps. And this is where we grow. I'm sorry, each floor has 4 sun lamps in each one of the 2 sides. And this is where we grow vegetables. Now obviously I haven't slept yet. Nothing is grown. But all the growing to feed everybody would happen here. Here's the view of the hotel. I think that's an nice view of the tap house. Stone Singers Hall. And the restaurant. Alright, now above that is the brewery. 7 King's brew tanks, 8 of the medium brew tanks. I didn't use any of the brew kettles. Just these. This is a highly simplified design. It's very open, very spacious, looks very clean. Used the least number of pieces I've ever used, but tried to be very efficient. So if you come up here the first flight, you'll actually get to the tops of the brew tanks. I used the scaffolding embedded into the adamant. I think that turned out very well actually. Now on both sides there's another set of stairs to get to the top, where you can get access to all of the brew tanks, the King's brew tanks. Now there is decoration on the other side of that wall, but I have to go down to the ground to show it to you. Oh, we should probably go this way. Alright, cut through the garden. See, this is on the other side. We were over there. There's the treasury. Put some detail on the top of the tap room and the hotel. See, very similar, though in this instance we have the red paneling and not the green. I think I can see it up there. Oh, you can see the back side of the adamant wall that is part of the brewery up there. You can see I decorated it, including lining up windows with the arches in the adamant. I think that turned out really well actually. Well, that's it. You know, it's a large, extremely large, very stable, plenty of room, very nice layout. has all the facilities you need except for cooking nightly meals or daily meals, and that'll be in every one of the townhouses as well as in the restaurant. So this is a fully functional and usable space for the dwarves to come back to. Very large space in the 21st hall. I hoped you enjoyed this video and this build. Don't forget to watch my other videos, and I'll publish the U2s out of the 18 hours of video that I've already used to create this room. Alright, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching Mereak Firmaxe Rebuilds Moria. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe below. Episode 22, the 21st Hall Build Overview.